Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. If you're overwhelmed with 7 chords and you're struggling to master the 7 chords and all 12 keys, you need to watch this lesson. But before that, I need to let you know that 70% of all the chords you need to play in all 12 keys are major chords. I'll show you how that works after the introduction. This is the day that the Now, a great way to begin this conversation is to highlight all the 7 chords in the major key. I'll use the key of C major as a case study. In the key of C major, you have the 1 chord, which is C, E, G, B, major 7. The 2 chord is minor, minor 7th. The 3 chord is another minor 7 chord. The 4 chord is a major 7 chord. The 5 chord is a dominant 7 chord. The 6 chord is a minor 7. And the 7 chord is a half diminished 7th chord. And back to the first tone, which is a major 7 chord. So take a look at this chart for all the chords in the major key, all the 7 chords in the major key. So there are 2 major 7 chords, the 1 chord and the 4 chord. There are 3 minor 7 chords, the 2 chord, the 3 chord, and the 6 chord. There's 1 dominant 7 chord and 1 half diminished 7 chord. So altogether, there are 7 chords in the major key. Okay, I know you can see 12, but there are 7 chords in every major key. So 2 of the chords are major 7 chords, 3 of the chords are minor 7 chords, 1 of the chords you have a dominant and you have another half diminished 7 chord. So if we want to prioritize the chords, I bet you know that major and minor chords are majoritarian when it comes to the chords in the major key. You have to give your priority to the major 7s and the minor 7 chords. Let's zoom out and look at this in all 12 keys. So take a look. 2 major 7 chords in all 12 keys gives us a total of 24 major 7 chords. 3 minor 7 chords in 12 keys gives us 36 minor 7 chords. And 1 dominant 7 chord in 12 keys gives us 12 dominant 7 chords. And 1 half diminished 7 chord in all 12 keys gives us 12 half diminished 7 chords. And this is a total of 84 7 chords in all 12 keys. This is why a lot of musicians are overwhelmed. How do you expect me to learn 84 chords? How do you expect me to learn 84 chords? There are 7 chords in a major key, and there are 12 major keys. There's a total of 84 chords. But there's a secret that I want to show you. I want you to check out this next slide. Now, there are 84 chords to learn. And I want to tell you for a fact that 42.9% are minor chords and 28.6 are major chords. The rest are diminished and dominant chords. Now, this should let you know that once you put together the major 7s and the minor 7s, you have a total of 70%. So 70% of all the chords that you should play in all 12 keys are major 7s and minor 7 chords. Now, if there are 12 major 7 chords and there are 12 minor 7 chords, why do we have 84 chords in all 12 keys? I'll tell you why. Because every chord has multiple functions. I'll give you an example. This is the 4th chord in the key of C major. In the key of C major, this is the 4th chord. But if you go to the key of F major, this chord is the 1 chord. Very amazing. So the 1 chord in the key of F major is the 4 chord in the key of C major. So every major 7 chord has 2 functions. So what this means is that if you take a look at the 84 chords in all 12 keys, 24 of them are major 7 chords. The same major 7 chord having multiple roles. So if you learn a C major 7 chord, 1 chord in C, 4 chord in G, D flat major 7 chord, 1 chord in D flat, 4 chord in A flat, D major 7, 1 chord in D, 4 chord in A, E flat major 7, 1 chord in E flat, 4 chord in B flat, E major 7 chord, 1 chord in B, 4 chord in A, F major 7 chord, 1 chord in F and 4 chord in C, F sharp major 7 chord, 1 chord in F sharp and 4 chord in C sharp, G major 7, 4 chord in D and 1 chord in G, A flat major 7 chord. Listen, every major 7 chord has 2 roles. So you have the C major. If you learn the C major 7 chord, you don't have to learn the 4 chord in G and the 1 chord in C. It's the same C major 7 chord. I don't know if you're understanding. If you're following, type it in the chat, and don't forget to like and share this video. And if you love what's going on in this community, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell, because almost every weekday I'm here to share some nuggets before going to class. I'm going to be sharing on this in class, so just wanted to give us a tip of the iceberg before heading off to class. So take a look at the C minor 7 chord. For the C minor 7 chord, this is a 2 chord in the key of B flat. This is a 3 chord in the key of A flat. And this is a 6 chord in the key of E flat. So the same minor 7 chord has 3 functions. I'm going to show you the 3rd slide again, so that you can see what I mean for the minor 7 chords. So take a look at this. Minor 7 chords take up to 42.9%. And if I were you, I'll take it serious. I'll do all my best to learn the minor 7 chords in all 12 keys. See that? So the reason why you're struggling with 7 chords is because you're under the impression that there are 84 chords. 7 chords in every key, 12 keys, 84 chords. But contrary to that opinion, contrary to that perception, there are simply 12 major chords, 12 minor chords, 12 dominant chords, and 12 diminished chords. 12 major chords with 2 functions, that's 24 chords. 12 minor 7 chords with 3 functions, that's 36 chords. So 60 out of the 84 7 chords that you have to learn in all 12 keys are major and minor 7 chords. And let me prove this to you. This is a C major 7 chord, and this is a C minor 7 chord. We're going to travel across the keys to find out what C is doing, the participation of C across the keys. Let me show you how this works. Now, this is a C major 7 chord. C is 1 in the key of C. I'm going to use a major 7 chord. This is the 1 chord in C. C is 2 in the key of B flat. I'm going to use a minor 7 chord. C is 3 in the key of A flat. C is 3 in the key of A flat, same minor 7 chord. C is 4 in the key of G, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using major 7. So in the key of C major, this is your C chord. In the key of B flat, this is your C chord. I'm just going between major 7 and minor 7. In the key of A flat, where C is 3, this is a chord. In the key of G, where C is the 4, we're doing a major 7 chord. In the key of E flat, where C is the 6. That's what we're doing. I skipped 2 numbers, 5 and 7. Because when C is dominant, we're playing by a different set of rules. And when C is diminished. So diminished and dominant chords are rare compared to major and minor chords. So how do I stop struggling with 7 chords? I'm going to learn C major, C minor, D flat major and minor, D major, D minor, E flat major, E flat minor, E major, E minor. E minor helps out when E is the 2 in the key of D, when E is the 6 in the key of G, and when E is the 3 in the key of C major. And E major functions when E is the 1 in the key of E major and 4 in the key of B. Just 2 chords, major and minor. And I want to say this to you as we come to the end of this live stream. Please go ahead and hit the like button. It takes just 3 seconds. Okay? Go ahead. Just consider that an encouragement to me. If you learn your major 7 and your minor 7s, there are just 2 chords. And in all 12 keys, 24 of them. That accounts for 60%. That's 60 of the 84 chords in all 12 keys. There are 84 chords in all 12 keys, but it's basically 12 major chords having 2 rolls. The 1 chord roll and the 4 chord roll. And 12 minor 7 chords having 3 rolls. There's the role of being a 2 chord, the role of being a 3 chord, and the role of being a 6 chord. Some of you watching me, you're a grandmother, you're a mother, you're a sister. You have multiple roles in your family. That's the same thing going on with these chords. It's time to leave for class. I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.